enemies public.
Always trust everyone to be themselves, but trust in the fact that you can see them well. I mean, so it's like, trust. It takes too much energy to not trust someone. I mean, it takes too much energy. You always gotta stay 2 steps ahead of them or whatever. Right. But trust them to be them.
Right. To be themselves.
Trust the snake to bite you. Right. Trust the lion to laugh. Trust the thief to steal from you. Like, trust them to be them. Too. But know them when you see them.
Let's go.
Get your copy of Fire. It's definitely a must-read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially Fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.
Peace. This is the enemy's public. I'm your Bro.Nasir. I want to thank Key Norfolk, Mr. West, Voodoo Child, the true daughter of darkness. Thanks for tapping in. Now, every time there's a tragedy among our people, they always seem to find someone to come and use their talking points and justify one of our brothers and sisters being harmed or worse. Now, the young brother, the airman, I believe his name was Roger Fortson out of Florida, who the deputy shot and killed in his own doorway. Now, peace to my brother Relentless. Thanks for tapping in. Now, the young brother was outright murdered, and my sentiment that he was set up, because we all know how certain people behave when they feel like we don't belong somewhere. And the police walked up to the brother's home with the intentions of doing some type of harm to the brother. Peace to the brother, my Jersey brother, Warfare K. Thanks for tapping in. Now, if you are approaching someone's door with a firearm, you are going there seeking blood because you got a phone call that there was a disturbance. You knocked on the door multiple times, didn't hear anything, but you have your gun out. And when the brother opened his door with his weapon down at his side, he was, shot dead in his doorway. Now, I'm going to show a few clips of what happened after a short music break. Short music break. This just to show my sentiment on how I feel about race soldiers all over the United States. The songs was going to resonate. The songs are going to be my sentiment towards race soldiers all over this country. Yet in the open carry state, it seems like the only people who can stand their ground and stand your ground open carry states are Caucasian people. Now, we can't even answer our door with our weapon in our hands after someone's banging on our door crazy. We get shot right in the doorway. Now, before I get to the subject matter, I'm going to play a quick few songs. Short ones, though. They're not long. This is my brother, Big Dog Leo J. That's the remix. Now we're going to get to not the original, but the one we're used to.
Fuck Steve Harvey, fuck Paula D, fuck Charles Barkley, fuck the mainstream. How the fuck you saying sorry to the white bitch team, but the greater don't apologize to these black queens? Fuck Iggy Azalea, fuck rap magazines, fuck white folk money, fuck Jimmy Iovine. Niggas got diabetes, fuck cake, fuck cream, fuck the edited version, fuck keeping shit clean. Fuck Dan Wilson and fuck how that sound. That fuck didn't give a fuck about Mike Brown. Fuck grand juries, fuck sundown towns, fuck feeling sympathetic when a cop shot down. Fuck concentrated poverty, apartheid schools, fuck CNN, fuck corporate news. Fuck diamond and fuck cracker ass pens, fuck a piece of white people, fuck elephants in the room. Giuliani, Bill O'Reilly, Fox News, George Pataki, Chris Christie, Sarah Palin, Michelle Bachmann, Rush Limbaugh. Fuck trying to be the first black anything here. Fuck men who fuck men. Fuck you and your queer peers. Fuck a tea party full of salty ass crackers. Fuck anything spoken from a dumbed down rapper. Fuck niggas who think money make a dumb nigga smart. Fuck crackers who pay to let the back when assholes talk. Fuck Oprah for being scared of what whites might think. If she opened a school here to teach young black queens. Fuck beats and fuck Drake for giving 35 million to a school full of overfed rich white children. Fuck integration and fuck the leading blacks. Fuck capitulation, sincerely, fuck that. Fuck Eminem, fuck culture appropriators. Fuck Macklemore, fuck children of slave traders. Fuck Democrats and fuck Republicans. Fuck America and the Republic for which it stands. Jefferson, Abe Lincoln, Richard Nixon, Lyndon Johnson, Ronald Reagan, both Bushes, Barack Obama. Fuck niggas who try to blame Mike Brown for his own death. Fuck cops who takes kids in the face for petty theft. Fuck the cop that shot Ayanna Jones as she slept. Fuck cops who murder blacks who with whites they make arrests. Fuck Reagan and the prison industrial complex. Fuck a war on drugs and fuck being oppressed. Fuck the ICC and the IMF. Fuck your kleptocracy. Fuck your codified debt. Fuck every single one of you haters of black flesh. Fuck Europe, fuck England, fuck the entire West. Fuck devils on the right, fuck devils on the left. Wait for me to give a fuck, don't hold your fucking breath. Fuck fearing the police, fuck changing the way I dress. If Black Lives Matter, fuck a peaceful protest. Fuck more body cam, fuck sensitivity training. Fuck marching and complaining the practice who ain't changing. Viacom, BET, MTV, Universal, Warner Brothers, Interscope, Sony Music.
Whether it's Ayanna Jones or it's Elijah McClain, whether it's Tatiana Jefferson, Corrine Gaines, Breonna Taylor, Trayvon Martin, it doesn't matter. These wicked ass people kill the most gentle of our people. It doesn't matter who it is. Now, I'm going to play a video of a wannabe honorary white supremacist who look like us, caping for the cops who shot the young brother. Peace to my brother, the realest McCoy. Thanks for tapping in. Now, it's always, well, I'm going to say he's always the one who they can call on when they want to make excuses, detract, and use their talking points because certain things they can't say, but they have someone who will say it for them on their behalf. Now, Brandon Tatum used to be a Tucson, Arizona police officer, and he quit before Donald Trump became president. He claimed he used to be pro-black and all this other foolishness. And he used every stereotype that others use against our people to describe his pro-blackness. Like, gold teeth, tattoos, sagging your pants. That's pro-black to him. That's when he said he was pro-black, that's what he said he did as a pro-black man. Sagged his pants, cussed a lot, and wore gold teeth and had tattoos and all that foolishness. That's his pro-blackness. But he never told us his act of so-called pro-blackness. He never showed us any of that. But he just said he was. And this is the same man who admitted to slapping his own mother. He said, I slapped my mother because she was talking about my father. He slapped his own mother. He said it, I didn't say it. But he would, if that was my mother, if we shared a mother, he'll be in his grave. If he slapped my mother, if you even raise your voice at my mother, he would have been in his grave. But we're going to show a few video clips before I lead to the actual video of this numbskull. We're going to start with the body cam footage of the young brother getting shot.
Body camera footage has now been released of that deadly police shooting of an airman inside his home. This happened in Florida. Roger Fortson was killed last week by a sheriff's deputy who was responding to calls of a domestic disturbance. Now, his family says the deputy had the wrong apartment. A deputy is now on leave as the shooting is being investigated. Nikki Batiste has more. We have to warn you here. These images are extremely upsetting.
Why is this doing?
This newly released body cam video shows an Okaloosa County deputy arriving at the home of senior airman Roger Fortson's apartment door, responding to a 911 call about a domestic disturbance. The deputy knocks 3 times. After the first knock, he steps off to the side. No one answers, and he knocks 2 more times, identifying himself. The video is partially blurred.
Sheriff's office, open the door!
Seconds later, Fortson opens the door. He's seen holding a handgun that was legally owned, according to his family. The deputy orders him to step back, then fires.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! 312, shots fired. Suspect down.
Okaloosa Sheriff Eric Aiden says his department released the video to be transparent.
No determination has been made as to whether.
Now, this deputy called this young brother a suspect. Automatically, he's a suspect, and automatically because a fourth party information, he show up to the door with his firearm in his hand, ready to shoot someone. And the first thing he do is say, step back, and then he shoots. The young brother's gun was down at the side because somebody was knocking at his door crazy. But when I play Brandon Tatum's video, just listen at the language that he used and what he was saying. This is a dangerous Negro, and he's the worst kind of person. The worst kind of person who needs really, to me, more than a talking to.
Whether the deputy's actions were justified or not.
Fortson's mother, Mika, says her son was FaceTiming with his girlfriend during the shooting. The girlfriend told the family the deputy said something not on the body cam video released today.
They just said, oh yeah, he shot up. He shot up. My baby was shot up.
Fortson's family says he was alone and grabbed his gun only after he heard aggressive knocking on his door, peeked through his peephole and saw no one. Fortson's family claims the deputy went to the wrong apartment.
Roger was a gift from God.
He was a patriot, and so he respected authority. Why the police didn't respect him? That's the question.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Nikki Batiste.
So disturbing.
Yeah.
Yes. So many questions because the sheriff's deputy identified himself, but that That knocking was aggressive, and the airman, a decorated airman,
who's licensed to carry a gun.
Yes, licensed to carry a legal gun.
So I see why he got the gun.
Yeah, a disturbing call. But by the way, the footage leading up to that is a neighbor taking the sheriff's deputy to that door, and apparently it's the wrong apartment of where.
It wasn't the wrong apartment. It was the right apartment. Some people act a certain way when they feel we don't belong somewhere, because they said that the somebody called from an apartment to management, and then management called the police, and then this person came. So it's a fourth party information, and the deputy didn't even investigate. He went over there with his mind made up what he was going to do. His mind was made up. And the young brother was set up by a Karen, and that shit turned deadly.
Where this domestic disturbance, whatever the neighbor heard. So
I'm just thinking it's Mother's Day this Sunday, and his mom is
devastated.
for the first time in her life not going to have her baby. It's terrible.
Now we're going to go to the Pentagon. They're going to react to the active duty serviceman. What happened to him? This is what the Pentagon had to say.
There are plans as it relates to Rafah and addressing the Hamas threat.
Okay, and on a separate topic, on Friday, a Florida sheriff's deputy shot and killed Senior Airman Roger Fortson. He was in his own off-base apartment. The deputy entered the apartment, shot and killed him. Has Secretary Austin been following this? Is he concerned at all? Has he reached out to the family? And are there any kind of greater concerns about all of the military personnel that live in off-base housing when you have law enforcement coming, responding to a call?
Yeah, well, first of all, the secretary is following this closely, and I would like to offer our thoughts and prayers to Airman Fortson's family. We are, of course, saddened at the loss of one of our own. I know that his death is currently under investigation, so I'll have to refer you to the Florida civil authorities for any questions about what happened. But we do know that his family is grieving, and we offer our sincere condolences.
Has the secretary reached out to the family?
Down to my knowledge.
Absolutely nothing to say about it. It's their own, but they had nothing to say about it. Now, you're going to have a former police captain breaking down body cam video of the shooting. Well, he's going to say he's breaking it down, but we know how that breakdowns go.
On the heels of Fortson's death, the state conference of the NAACP, as well as the Okaloosa branch, advocating for justice for Fortson, last night releasing a list of demands and saying after watching the body camera video, they're determined the responding deputy had no justifiable reason to shoot Fortson. WEAR's Karis Harmon joins us now, and Karis, a law enforcement expert, weighed in on that body camera video.
Yeah, he did, and told us what happened was senseless. The NAACP says it won't stop pushing for justice until it's served.
We could not simply just sit on our hands and hope this thing, all by itself just evaporate.
The Okaloosa County branch of the NAACP releasing a statement to Facebook.
Our community has been hurting from his teammates out on the base, to his family, to his friends, and even to many of us who didn't even know him personally. This has affected our community from all walks of life.
Peace to my brother, Chris Cyphers, the Smokers Lounge. Thanks for tapping in, good brother.
In that statement, a list of demands that include an investigation conducted by the U.S. Department of Justice and the release of disciplinary records of the deputy involved. Williams says he trusts Sheriff Aiden and says the release of the body camera footage was a good step towards transparency.
Our role is to view that from a public eye. I know that law enforcement may view it in a different way, but from a public eye, and determine whether we think that this was justifiable. We don't. At least I don't.
This is senseless. Let's agree on that. It should not have happened. And what we need to look at now is what should have been done, what could have been done to prevent this from happening.
Jerry Rodriguez has more than 30 years in law enforcement as a police captain and is an expert on use of force and other police practices.
For about 2 years there, I responded to every officer-involved shooting within the city of Los Angeles.
Rodriguez walking us through what he saw in the body camera footage.
These are very difficult calls. Whenever you respond to a radio call at a residence of any type of a disturbance or domestic, it's very difficult. The officer has some limited information.
He says there are some things
Respect to my sister, Sharon Walker. Thanks for tapping in, sis.
that the deputy did right.
The officer got as much information as possible from those that called or were present. I also saw the officer approach the door, and oftentimes officers will.
The officer didn't do any investigation. If you go to the door that supposedly had a disturbance, you listen. He didn't listen. He knocked on the door. The only noise I heard at that door was the noise that he was making when he was banging on a young brother's door. That's the noise. And not only that, it was fourth-party information that he got that caused him to go to the door with his gun out.
Will automatically knock right away. He paused, and it appears from looking at the video to me that he listened. He listened for any activity. I believe that the deputy made very clear who he was, and I think that the individual inside, based on what I believe I heard on the videotape, knew that, may have known, possibly knew that it was the police, the sheriffs at the front door, which begs the next question, is why you would open the door with a gun in hand.
However, Rodriguez says it is not illegal for someone to have a gun in their residence.
What complicates it is what the officer perceives as a potential threat when that individual enters the door with the weapon.
He says he's troubled by what he saw.
We have a tremendous amount of questions as to what led the deputy to believe that he was in immediate defense of life, because
he wouldn't have done that if there was a young white boy standing there with a gun in his hand down to his side. He probably would have told him to drop it, but he wouldn't have automatically shot the brother 6 times. He wouldn't have shot the white boy 6 times, I'll tell you that much.
Based on the video, it even appears that the individual raised his one hand almost in a defensive manner.
Exactly.
And it appeared that the weapon was pointed downward. So what we use to judge whether it was objectively reasonable is whether the threat posed to the officer was imminent. And that's where the question lies.
There was no threat at all.
In the body cam video, you see the deputy move out of the frame of the door after the first knock. Rodriguez says that is protocol. To read the NAACP's full list of demands, look for this story on our website. In the studio, Karis Herman, WEAR News.
Next, I'm going to go to the video that I was telling everyone about, the subject matter, the wannabe honorary white supremacist Brandon Tatum. I'm going to go to him and his so-called breakdown of the shooting. His breakdown is justifying the shooting, and it's always him justifying the shooting. I don't care who it is. It could be Ayanna Jones laying across her grandmother's bed and the Detroit Police Department bust in and shoot her in the face and she died. He'll justify that. He'll justify Elijah McClain. He'll justify Tatiana Jefferson playing video games with her nephew and cops is prowling around her backyard and she go to her window with her weapon like she's supposed to be. They didn't knock on the front door and said, okay, are you okay here because your door is ajar? No, they're all in her yard being overzealous, looking for trouble, and he shot the sister in the face when she went to her window and murdered her. Now, this is Brandon Tatum's former Tucson, Arizona cop who went no far as a patrolman. He wasn't on no units, okay? No force, just a patrolman on the Tucson, Arizona Police Department. How he became an expert in law enforcement when his brass, his white shirts, they're not even experts. I don't care how far you go up in rank, there's no so-called experts because they all fall short of being an expert.
We are aware of a press release and other comments that falsely state our deputy entered the wrong apartment and imply that they burst through the door into Mr. Fortson's residence. Those statements are inaccurate, as shown on the video that we are about to see.
Now watch how this Negro act from the door, bucking his eyes like a Sambo.
Y'all know I had to make a video about this. Ladies and gentlemen, the sheriff made a statement in a press conference clearly stating that there were some things that were put out there that were not correct.
But the same sheriff is the same person who tells us to be patient with them pending investigation, be transparent and be patient with them pending the investigation. But he stand up on a rostrum and tell us what happened. Tell us what's not true and what's true.
One is the cops didn't just barge through the door. Another thing is the cop did knock and announce twice. And this is the most crucial part of this entire case, is that the victim in this case, and I don't know if you call him a victim at the end of it, but the victim in this case, the person who lost his life, acknowledged that it was a sheriff's deputy before he opened the door with a gun in his hand. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get the merch link in the.
How do you know that the man, the young brother, acknowledged that it was the police from the other side of the door? This nigga can't see no more than what we seen on the video. No more. But he has his mind made up because he has 3.2 million subscribers, and those crackers are paying him to do what he's doing.
In the description section, I guess that there's a movie called Fallout or something like that. My e-commerce manager is a beast at this, so he came up with this shirt. He said it would be good. It's a little distorted because of the green screen, so this is a nice vibrant yellow color. But get you one on TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Link is in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to methodically go through this video. In the beginning of the video, I told you there were things that the sheriff said that was misconceptions that are put out there. Anytime I see Benjamin Crump on a case, I have all kinds of questions. That man chases ambulance all around America. He can't wait to find a case with a black person in it so he can make some money. That's all it is. He don't care nothing about black people that get shot in the middle of the street. He don't care about civil rights of nobody else, no other black person, unless a black man getting shot by a white cop. That's it. That's the reason why Benjamin Crump on his private jet flying directly. I don't know if he fly private. He probably do all that money be siphoning. Anyway, regardless of that, that's not here nor there when it comes to justification or not. But Benjamin Crump is a fraud, in my opinion. Now, let's start with what the deputy said. We're going to watch the video, and then I'm going to tell you why I think that this could be a justified shooting, although it's not that clean. All right.
Anything that is not that clean is dirty. There's no such thing of halfway clean. If you get in the shower and you miss a spot, you're still dirty. You need to go back and handle that. There's no such thing as halfway clean. Either it's clean or it's dirty.
Let's see what the sheriff said about some misunderstandings or miscommunication that has been bestowed on the people, like always. Roll the clip.
We are aware of a press release and other comments that falsely state our deputy entered the wrong apartment and imply that they burst through the door into Mr. Fortson's residence. Those statements are inaccurate, as shown on the video that
we don't need the sheriff to tell us that that statement is inaccurate. We knew that statement was inaccurate when we watched the video.
About to see. What we do know at this time is that the deputy did announce himself, not once, but twice. Mr. Fortson's comments indicate that he did acknowledge it was law enforcement at the door, and he arrived at the door with a firearm in his hand. The deputy knocked on the correct door. He did not cover the peephole or otherwise obscure its view in any way. Again, I don't share this information to pass judgment. We simply want to assure the community of what is known at this time.
Perfect. That's exactly what police officers should do. That's exactly what we expect. And then we're going to watch the video real quick. So this right here is the actual video. And we're going to watch it in its entirety because it's necessary. This is from police activity. They always got the best stuff. So we're going to watch the video from start to finish. We're not going to watch the actual shooting, right? Everybody, you can put two and two together and see that homeboy finna take a couple shots to the chest. We're going to stop it. All that I'm saying is for educational purposes only. YouTube, please don't age restrict the video. We're not going to show any level of violence. None. Okay. All right. Roll the clip. Officer is arriving on scene of a call of a potential DB or disturbance. Now, let me say this. I think this is the mistake number one from the police officer. However, these are deputies. These are not city cops. Deputies have a large jurisdiction that they have to cover, so they don't have as many police officers as the municipal police department. We would never go to a disturbance call with just one officer. We would never approach an apartment with just one officer.
This is a man who has a mental illness. He hasn't been a cop since like 2016, and he's using the word we. We. Just listen to this idiot.
Unless it's exigent, meaning we hear somebody getting beat and I have to take action because this is what you want to avoid. But I'm not going to criticize them on this because they may not have a lot of deputies, or other deputy responding may have to respond from like 15 minutes away. We don't know. Roll the clip.
Howdy, sir.
What's going on?
I'm not sure. I just was told to let her know if you guys come by.
Okay.
So I'm going to give her a quick call and let you guys know. Let her know that
So there was a fight going on or something?
I was not present for that.
Okay.
So there's a lot of blurring out because they're redacting it.
From the beginning, this whole story is inaccurate. When someone tells you they don't know, that's when doubt's supposed to be in your head from the beginning. Nobody knows what happened. And then when you do talk to somebody, it's somebody that told somebody that told somebody.
In this, there's versions online that's not redacted, but I want to be safe and make sure things are redacted. So pretty much he went to the front office. You can tell that this is an ongoing thing. Something has happened because they've informed the kid at the front, when the cops get here, let me know.
Why are you saying this? That it's an ongoing thing. See, now, when it comes out that nothing actually happened at this young brother's apartment, or nothing never happened, they never been to his apartment, then what are you going to say?
Oh, this is not a cop just randomly showing him somewhere and nothing happened. He guessing and going to somebody's house. This has already been communicated amongst the apartment staff, clearly.
You see how nice this place is? A young 23-year-old senior airman lives here, and you got older white folks who think he don't belong there. And my sentiment is they set that brother up to be murdered because they had a problem with him being there. It's going to come out that the police never been to this man's house. Watch, because it happened on May 3rd. Here it is, the 17th, and they didn't say nothing about nothing. This young brother's record is squeaky clean because they love dirtying up the victim. They would have dirtied him up by now if there was some dirt on him. But they can't even fabricate nothing on this young brother.
Are they fighting or something?
Saying that it happens frequently.
Okay.
But this time it sounded like it was getting out of hand.
Okay, which door?
I don't know.
Said it was getting out of hand, but when he went to the door, he heard nothing. Antennas would have came up if I would have went there, or if anybody else who had like half a brain been like, no, there's nothing going on here. But he knocked on the door crazy, and the brother came out like anybody else would have came out if you knock on the door crazy.
This happens frequently, and people are saying that it happened frequently, and this time it sounds like it has gotten out of hand.
Now, in this jackass's mindset, white folks said it, so it has to be true because somebody white said it. So that's truth if the white person said it.
I'm not sure. 2 weeks ago, I was walking by their apartment, basically on this side, and I was hearing someone yell like, "Shut the f up, like you stupid B word" and all this other stuff, and I heard a slap right after it, but I wasn't sure where it came from, and I couldn't call. I didn't.
Okay, so now she's saying something happened 2 weeks ago. She's talking about something that happened 2 weeks ago. If something happened now, why aren't you talking about what happened that caused you to call the police? She's talking about something that's supposed to have happened 2 weeks ago. It's not even written that even happened. She set this brother up to get murdered, and when they come out, they need to lock her ass up.
They want to call the police. And,
Which room is it?
1401.
1401. Okay.
Okay, so this woman is saying that she walked by the apartment, she heard some yelling and screaming and F you and heard a slap. People are in the apartment complex are saying that this has happened multiple times.
But she called the police 2 weeks later, and he can't put that together.
At first, she did tell the police officer that she wasn't really sure what number it was, but when she got to this point, she said, no, it's 1401. It's not abnormal for a person to say, okay, I know how these apartments are lined up.
No. When it comes to the police going to somebody's house with their gun out and somebody being killed, you need to be absolutely certain what fucking apartment it is. No guessing. No second guessing.
I know it's that one. 1401. Okay, that would be the one at the end. She knows what apartment unit.
That's the Amber Geiger shit. I thought I was in my apartment, so I shot someone because I thought I was in my apartment. You knew it wasn't your apartment when you didn't see your couch, when you didn't see your dining room set, when you didn't see your furniture. You knew it wasn't your apartment.
They called the police. It's been coordinated around the apartment complex. There's a domestic situation. She knows exactly which unit it is. This is not the first time it's happened.
1401. But the girl sounded scared, the one that called. She said, she was like, it's getting out of it. It sounds like it's getting really out of hand.
So it's hit number 4, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. You mean fair? We stand out there and direct the deputy that's coming with this area.
So she's relaying secondhand information. She's saying that the girl is called and was scared. And this is what the police officer have to work with.
It's not, you're going to go to the fourth floor and it's going to be on this side.
Gotcha.
Notice that this man is finna go to this door by himself, which is ridiculous to me. You don't teach police officers to do this because there's no exigent circumstances. This is a third party person telling this woman something she wasn't an eyewitness on. There's no indication that there's physical violence currently.
So why are we here? Why are you sitting there saying it was a justified, clean shooting when the cop shouldn't be here in the first place? But you're sitting there justifying the shooting when it's not secondhand, third hand, it's fourth party information that a cop is walking up to somebody's door with his gun out and ends up shooting the young brother and killing him.
Going on as we speak. Wait for your backup unit. Because if you get there and there's 5 or 6 people in the house, you screwed. If you get there and baby daddy don't want to go to jail today, you now in a...
That right there is rhetoric that's babbling, because we already know what happened. It was one person there. There's no if. We know what happened, so there's no if in this situation.
Confrontation with two against one. We were taught this in the academy. Most police officers get killed in these domestic violence situations. She's telling him it's a domestic violence. He's going up there by himself.
And she lied about everything. Whoever said it to her lied. They passed on lie to lie to lie. And I think they all conspired against the young brother.
Self. 2 things are happening here. He's not taking this seriously whatsoever, or they're not training officers properly to wait for your backup unit.
Three 12 111. Three 12 111.
I'm assuming that he...
Now, this is when he should be investigating. Now, if he should be standing there. First, if there was domestic violence going on, he'll hear something if it's going on. But she came in, she said nothing about what's going on now. She started talking about what happened 2 weeks ago. And the cop didn't even think to say, okay, what's going on now? Is anything going on now while we're talking about 2 weeks ago?
They asked for a backup unit, but they redacted it, so it's hard to tell if they asked for a backup unit or not. He's still by himself, getting ready to knock on his door at a potential domestic violence scene. Asinine.
I don't hear anything but chirping.
So there's a reason why he's waiting. We're trained to do this. You step off to the side, you listen.
Now, why is he saying we're trained as if he's still on the police department when he hasn't been on the police department since 2016? This guy's a total numbskull.
First, because you may end up hearing the crime committing, right? You may hear somebody slapping, somebody screaming, because if they don't know you there, give it a little time. You may actually hear something. You may hear them arguing. You may hear somebody cussing somebody out, or you may...
Okay, that's what he did, but then he started making noise, banging on the damn door. And the young man was FaceTiming his girl. He interrupted the young man's FaceTime. That's what he was doing. That's what his girlfriend said, that they was on a FaceTime when she heard the knocking at the door from the other side of the damn FaceTime.
You may hear them not as loud as they were, but whispering or talking low, saying, you know, you shouldn't have slapped me. If you, I've been 100 times, I've been to calls like that where I listen in and they like, well, you put your hands on me again. Now people gonna be calling the police on us because you can't keep your hands to yourself. You slap me again. See, when they get here, I'm gonna tell them you slapped me, and we listening the whole time.
That's hypothetical.
Like, oh, okay.
That's some hypothetical.
We hear everything they saying. This is going down in the case report. They already made admissions before they knew we were present.
No, he hasn't been a cop since 2016. Not being a cop since then. He hasn't been one since then. He quit in 2016. And when he was on the force, he was only on the force for like 5 years. This dude is young. Late 20s, early 30s. So he couldn't have been on the department that long.
People may question, why did he knock on the door, step off to the side, step off to the other side? That's how we're trained. You don't want to sit in the fatal funnel, right? If he's off to the side like this, if guy pop out with a gun, he has an advantage. You don't want to stand right in front of the door. They open the door on you.
Right, bucking his eyes.
You may get caught like that, depending on the circumstance, but we're taught to kind of step off to the side.
We're taught.
Sheriff's office, open the door.
One command, sheriff's office.
And that's a command he don't even have to comply with. Because they knock at your door, that don't mean you have to open your door. Especially when you don't know what's going on. Police at your door and you don't know why they're there. It's going to come out that this young brother didn't even know why the cops was at his house. But they was there because those crackers sent them over there.
Sheriff's office, open the door.
Step out.
Okay. As soon as he opened the door, he says,
as soon as he opened the door, he shot the brother. The brother had his gun down and holding his hand up like, wait. That's the gesture. That's what I see when I see the brother with his hand up with his gun down. But the cop, black man, gun, you shoot him no matter what.
Step back, he see the gun, and he had to engage. Now, many people would have a problem with this. I don't think it's as clean as it should have been.
If it's not clean as it should have been, it's dirty. See, this is talking in circles. This is talking with a forked tongue. If it's not clean as it should have been, it's dirty.
But when you heard the part where it was inaudible, I'm assuming that's when the kid on the inside was acknowledging to somebody on the phone that it's the police. And he's saying that's the police. That's why the police officer says, Sheriff's Department, open the door. Sheriff's Department, open the door. Because now he's getting some verbal communication with the guy who has a gun in his hand. And so this is where the rubber hit the road, and this is where it went from potentially unjustified to justified. If you're knocking on the door, first of all, I want people to be honest with themselves and acknowledge that there is a potential, a great potential, that this kid and this girl has been involved in domestic violence situations.
And it's a potential that nothing never happened, and those crackers set their brother up to be murdered. See, when it comes out that nothing happened at this brother's house, his family need to sue this nigga right here for defamation of character.
Multiple times at this apartment unit, to the tune of other people are complaining, they're hearing it. We've gotten to this point. Some will say
this fool acts like when people see us in a place they feel we shouldn't be living, that they don't come asking us to prove that we live there and following us to our house and acting like they're the police and asking us for ID to prove that we live what we live. Because when they see us, we're not supposed to be able to afford to live where white folks live, and especially being 23 years old. The young brother was a senior airman at 23 years old, and they probably knew, because when they see us with stuff, they feel no matter how hard we work for it, we don't supposed to have that.
say he went to the wrong door. No, he was instructed to go to this door. If there was somebody yelling and screaming and slapping after this happened, they would have been directed to identify another unit where the real crime was happening. Put this in your mind. What are the odds?
Put this in your mind. Perhaps nothing never happened and somebody called the cops, and this is their desired result right here. The young brother being harmed or worse.
That a male and a female are arguing and cussing and screaming and acting a fool multiple times. And today, when he's directed to this apartment, this guy happened to be on the phone with his girl. To me, and they're not going to be honest about it. The girl ain't going to come out on the TV and tell the truth and say, we've been arguing all this time. He put his hands on me. We fighting. We was arguing when the cops got there. The girl ain't going to say that. She going to do a press conference.
The girl is not even there. She's on FaceTime. So she's going to do a press conference. He's a total jackass. He's a jackass.
Conference, do a GoFundMe, put some money in her pocket. I don't know that to be true. I'm just saying I've seen it happen like that. So
see, he's sitting up there and he's totally just stereotyping the young sister. Like she's going to try to get a come up from this situation. No, this is what you do. You're using all these white supremacist talking points, and you got 3.2 million followers, and I guarantee you, most of them, I guarantee they're not us. You're saying what they will love to say, and you're displaying all this self-hate towards your own people.
So many times, you just watch. So he knows potentially that the cops are coming because of what he's been doing or what he is doing today.
How do you know what this man know? Again, when they find out, because for one, this happened May 3rd, I believe. Yeah, May 3rd. That's weeks ago. If they had dirt on this brother, as much as they like dirtying up the victim, as much as they like putting dirt out there, something happened, if this brother stole a pack of now-and-laters back when he was in the 2nd grade, they would have said that by now. But they don't have no dirt on this young brother. They don't have no dirt on him. And when it comes out that they don't have dirt on him, he should be sued. Brandon Tatum should be sued for saying all this. Dirtying his brother's name up to please these damn crackers.
Today, the cop knocks, he acknowledges that it's a cop. Why? Because he know what he in there doing, and he it's not shocking to him.
What you mean he in there doing? He was there alone. So he's virtually beating his girl. He's beating his girlfriend up over FaceTime. That's what you're telling us? He's in the metaverse beating his girl up on FaceTime. He was alone.
That police are showing up. The cop announced twice. This guy either went to get a gun, acknowledged that it was a sheriff's, and when, like, you got to think, he either had the gun in his hand, well, he shouldn't have had a gun in his hand just walking around his house, right? When the first knock happened, he either got the gun during the first knock, which wouldn't be abnormal. He hears the police.
If he was going to shoot out with the cop, he could have just shot through the damn door. If he's going to shoot out with the cops, why would he open the door knowing that it was the cops with a gun in his hand? If he knew the cops was there, he going to shoot out with the cops. I'm absolutely certain those bullets would have penetrated their door, and I'm also absolutely certain he could have hit those cops anywhere he wanted to hit them, being a trained firearms expert, being in the military. They're better trained than the cops, so he can't even get that.
Police officer say something. He acknowledged this as a cop, and he still got the gun in his hand. The cop knocks again. He can hear clear as day that it's sheriff's office. And he opens the door with a gun in his hand. Why? What is he trying to do?
Because he has every right, like everybody else, when someone's knocking at their door crazy to see, because if he didn't have a gun in his hand, let's say if it's somebody who's planning to do a home invasion, they would have had their way with him because the brother's small. He's small. He didn't know who was at their door.
Why do you need to have a gun in your hand after you acknowledge it's a sheriff's deputy? And I got something to say about that here in a second. Or he heard the first knock, he does nothing. The sheriff, he realized that it's the police, then he grab a gun. Because he's finna open a gun and get in confrontation with the police. That could be a possibility as well. No rational.
Again, exactly. You're not saying any rational comments, because if he was going to shoot out with the cops, he could have shot through the door because he could have covered himself instead of putting himself in the line of fire. This dude don't think with no type of logic.
Rational person would have a gun in their hand, open the door with a police officer. It's not rational. It's not reasonable. So in the mind of a police officer, this behavior is not reasonable. Why would a person acknowledge that you are there as a sheriff's deputy and then open the door with a gun in their hand? Those signs could lead a police officer to believe that this person is having ill intent. It's not normal to open the door after acknowledging that it's a sheriff's officer with a gun in your hand. And the police officer don't necessarily have to wait till he gets shot to believe that this person is a present threat. The police officer can put these.
If he was going to shoot out with the police, he would have shot them. If he was going to be confrontational, he would have had his gun up. His gun is down. His gun is not up. It's down to the side. And he has his hand up as if to tell the cop to wait.
These things together instantaneously. Domestic violence. Most cops get killed in domestic violence incidents. Domestic violence. I'm by myself.
Like that.
I hear the guy acknowledge me. I say sheriff's office. I say sheriff's office. He opened the door with a gun in his hand. This scenario plays in the officer's mind because this happens all the time. Kill, kill, kill. Officer.
You see how this guy's bucking his eyes? He looked like straight up, step and fetch type ass nigga.
Get killed just like this all the time. And so when the signs and symptoms are pointing in a certain direction, it can be reasonable that a cop feels that his life is in danger when this guy opens the door with a gun in his hand. Let me say this and I'm done with the video. Ladies and gentlemen, stop opening the door with a gun in your hand. There is never a scenario. I'll say mostly never a scenario, because there is some scenarios that you should open the door with a gun in your hand. Let me tell you why you shouldn't. If there's a suspect or suspects, individuals who you cannot identify outside of your door, you feel like you need a gun, that's the reason why you shouldn't open the door. Stay in your house, get in a tactical position, call the police. They have to get through your door first before they can harm you.
Why would you call somebody as incompetent as the police? I've seen police get called to a mental illness situation where someone was suicidal, and they killed the person. If someone's suicidal, why would you call the cops and the cops come and they kill him or her? So my sentiment is they are useless. I don't feel they should be defunded. I feel they should be abolished. They are useless. It should be laws. And if anything happened around your house that you deem unlawful, you handle your own damn shit. You handle your own shit. But I don't feel like we should have any type of policy enforcers coming around our house telling us what to do or endangering our lives. They're useless.
When you open a door, it could be 3 dudes out there with AR-15s. You just lost already. Let there be a barrier between you and the suspects. And you have a tactical.
If somebody got AR-15, 4 guys out there with AR-15s, they can shoot any damn door off the hinges and just walk through there. They don't need to knock with the AR-15. They can shoot the damn door off the hinges.
The advantage because they can't see you. More times than not, they don't know the layout of your house. You can be sitting in a tactical area, call the police. If they break through that door, you have a right to defend yourself, and you at a tactical advantage. Opening your door just make you susceptible to you getting shot and killed, beat up, and all kind of stuff. So if you feel like you need a gun, don't open the door. And if you don't feel like you need a gun, then open the door. It's really that simple. I've seen so many people get killed like this because they are coming to the door with a gun in their hand. The dude right here in Phoenix, everybody swear that was unjustified. It was justified. It was just unfortunate. The dude was in a domestic violence just like this, and he come to the door all raised up, and he went to put the gun down. The officer in
Salute to my brother Hawkeye. Thanks for tapping in, good brother. Salute.
front of him can see that he's putting the gun down, but the officer over here can't see. So all he sees is a guy do a gun like this, and he shot him.
Anything to justify somebody being killed, he gonna try to tell us what somebody else can't see. Gonna try to tell us what somebody's thinking. Come on, man. Chill with that bullshit.
Now that guy's wrong on multiple fronts, because if it was a neighbor, you can't just pull a gun on a neighbor. The neighbor could be knocking on the Uber, could be knocking on the wrong door. You pull a gun on an Uber driver?
I guarantee you this fool justified the white man killing the Uber driver, the elder sister. I guarantee I gotta look at his video and see if he justified that killing. The sister pulled up at an Uber and this racist devil killed the elder sister. He probably justified. He probably said it's a justified shooting because the white man was scared.
It makes no sense for you to pull your gun on somebody, opening your door, and you don't even know who it is. Dude in Phoenix got killed that way.
Listen to this idiot. When this young brother, who's a 23-year-old senior airman, his neighbors got him killed. You talking about being neighborly? When his neighbors got him killed, his neighbors called the cops on him when nothing's going on at his house. There's the fact that he's existing, living there in that place that they feel he shouldn't be able to afford, and they conspire and they got him killed, his neighbors. So maybe he should have pulled his gun on his damn neighbors.
I did a video just the other day of 2 people breaking into their own apartment, which is crazy. But it happens. You don't have a key. You got to get in the house. But your neighbor don't know. So the neighbor see 2 people breaking through.
Why? If it's your neighbor, they should know it's your house. If it's your neighbor. He said your neighbor don't know. They see you breaking into your own house because you're locked out. If it's your neighbor and you've been living there and they notice that you live there, stop that.
Breaking through a window, pulling the screen off, knocking out the glass, going into the house. They call the police and say somebody's burglarizing. Police get there, all the signs and symptoms of an active burglary. Then through the blinds, they see somebody coming to the door with a gun in their hand. After yelling to the top of their lungs, police, 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 police. This girl comes to the door with a gun in her hand, they shot her. Justified.
It's not justified. Only when there's an imminent threat to the police and people surrounding that area. That's the only time a shooting is justified. But this nigga would justify any one of us getting killed. He justified Tatiana Jefferson being killed in her own home when the cops are prowling around her house. He said the shooting was justified.
It's not rational and reasonable for a cop to have to get shot because you being silly. Very unfortunate situation. I feel for his family.
What about a cop being silly in somebody's backyard when nobody called them? If somebody called and say, okay, my neighbor's door is open, you're supposed to go to the door, not go all in the people's yard, because if you are prowling around my backyard unauthorized, I didn't call you, my neighbor just said, my door is ajar, and I see you in my backyard, and I hit you center mass taking you out, you're being silly for being in my yard. When you should have just came to my door and rang the doorbell or knocked and asked, is everything okay, and been on your way.
But this is not right. This is not normal. This is not reasonable. People are going to get mad and say, well, you can have a gun, but you got to be safe and smart with your gun. If you don't have a reason to answer that gun with a gun, answer that door with a gun in your hand, come on, man. You can get shot. Conclusion to this, I think that the officer, in good faith, went to the call. The kid acknowledges he answered the door with a gun in his hand. The cop thought his life is in danger. It don't take nothing but a second for you to go from here to here. The situation is awkwardly presented. It's not reasonable at all for a person to act and behave the way that this gentleman was behaving, which lead the cop to believe his life is in danger. I think it's justified. I stamp justified.
So this nigga don't respect our people regardless. Now, this is a young brother who did everything he was supposed to do as far as growing up, staying out of trouble. You know, he went into the military. He became a senior airman, and not only that, he wanted to take care of his younger brothers and sisters to make sure that they go to college. That's why he entered the military, to become a senior airman, so he'd be able to provide for his mother and his younger brother and sister so they can further their education. He don't even respect that. He don't even respect the young brother doing everything right. And a military brother, a brother that joined and protected, who served this damn country, who never served us, who served this country, who never served us, fighting to keep corporate America in power. And this is the thanks he get, and this Negro add insult to injury by justifying him being murdered in his own home.
5. I'll see y'all on the next one. Comment in the comment section. You think I'm wrong? I'm out.
He earns his money. He earns his money. Again, he has 3.2 million subscribers. And he's getting bread to do what he does. I'm going to take a commercial break, and we're going to have a word from my sponsor.
Get your copy of Fire. It's definitely a must-read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially Fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.
Now, there was a few years ago a Negro who behaved just like Brandon Tatum. Behaved just like him. He was a total police sympathizer. They was his heroes, and he just believed they couldn't do no wrong. Now, I have a video that I'm going to show of this Negro, of what happened to him the very first encounter that he had with the police. The very first encounter that he had with the police. This is what happened to him. Bear with me. Give me a second, family. Give me a second. I want to show you what happened to him, his very first encounter. And what's crazy about that encounter, the cop was acquitted. He was acquitted. It don't pay. Check it out.
Now, with breaking news overnight in the shooting death of Jonathan Price, a black man who was killed while trying to break up a domestic dispute. The police officer has now been charged with murder, and Marcus Moore is in Wolf City, Texas, with the story. Good morning, Marcus.
Well, George, good morning. That arrest came just hours after people took to the streets of this small Texas town demanding justice. You can see the memorial here. Jonathan Price, an admired member of this community, shot and killed at this convenience store.
This morning, Wolf City police officer Sean David Lucas charged with murder in the death of Jonathan Price.
Oh, Lord. My son. Oh, my baby.
Price, a 31-year-old city employee, was killed in this convenience store parking lot after witnesses say he was trying to defuse a heated argument between a couple inside the store.
3 gunshots went off, and I turned and looked at them, and I said, a cop just shot somebody.
According to the Texas Rangers, which is handling the investigation, when Officer Lucas arrived, Price walked away in, quote, a non-threatening posture. The Rangers say Lucas then tasered Price before shooting and killing him. Adding, the preliminary investigation indicates the actions of Officer Lucas were not objectively reasonable. Price was a beloved pillar of the community who worked with and coached children and had a personal training business. Overnight, more than 100 people showing up to honor Jonathan's life outside the gas station where he was killed, locking hands and wearing masks.
Black people aren't making it up. We're not playing a race card. There is a problem.
The officer's bond was set at $1 million, and there's still a lot we don't know about what happened in this parking lot. Price's family, though.
It don't matter how good of a person you are. It don't matter. You could be a pillar. You could be, I mean, it's been in Patterson, New Jersey, a Warfare K can tell you, in Patterson, New Jersey, there was a advocate for nonviolence, was killed by the cops about 2-3 years ago. A advocate for nonviolence in a city that's straight up riddled with violence. He was an advocate for nonviolence. Was killed by the cops, shot.
Oh, demanding the officer be arrested. And Michael, that's exactly what happened overnight.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you.
We're going to see the outcome of this trial for this cop that shot the brother who was nonviolent, breaking up fights, trying to keep the peace in the community.
Tonight, new developments after a former Wolf City police officer was found not guilty of killing a man outside a gas station 2 years ago. Now we're seeing the body cam.
Salute to my brother, JJ, the Enlightening One. Good to see you, brother. Where you been?
Camera video of what happened, and we should warn you, the video might be hard to watch. Matt Howerton breaks it down and has reaction.
How you been, brother?
Reports of a fight at this Wolf City gas station is how the police shooting death of Jonathan Price, seen here in a green shirt, began. This is Officer Sean Lucas's body camera footage. A jury found him not guilty of Price's murder last week. This video of him shooting the 31-year-old hasn't been seen outside.
He went there to harm someone. He didn't go there to keep the peace. The peacemaker was the brother who was killed. That was the peacemaker right there. The peace officer, the peacemaker in the community, right here that we see that the cop who's supposed to keep the peace, who's supposed to protect and serve, end up killing a peacemaker, a pillar in the community.
Outside a courtroom by the public until now.
I'm sorry about the broken glass right here.
Lucas suspected Price was involved in the fight.
I can't be detained right now.
He tries to detain him, but Price starts to walk away. He is also unarmed.
Put your hands behind your back now.
Lucas pulls his taser and deploys it while Price's back is turned. He struggles. And when Lucas tells Price to get on the ground, he slowly moves toward him. Still affected by the taser, he reaches his right hand up towards Lucas.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
That's when Price is shot 4 times. In court, Lucas's attorneys argued Price was trying to grab the taser. They still stand by that Tuesday night, saying the body-worn camera footage showed
defense attorneys that defend cops are scum. And I'm really being disrespectful to scum by calling them scum.
Sean give 20 loud, clear commands while exhausting all reasonable force options to gain compliance. Tragically, when Mr. Price grabbed his taser, he had no other options.
Okay, being that he said he grabbed his taser, where is the footage of the brother grabbing his taser? See, they just scum, just dirty and pieces of shit. And it's crazy because no matter how wrong these cops be, those fellow cops will raise the money for them. They will raise the money for them. And then you see a cop get killed, he could be a rookie. He get killed for doing something stupid or putting himself in a situation that's dangerous for him unnecessarily, and he end up being killed. They would promote the cop posthumously so his wife could have a bigger, pension of his, Social Security, whatever kind of benefit the widow gets. They would promote the cop. I've seen it happen a whole lot of times. They'll promote the cop to detective so she can live on a detective salary of her dead husband because he was too damn zealous and not just doing his job. He's not doing his job. He's overzealous. He's walking into stuff and he putting himself in dangerous situations unnecessarily.
The jury reviewed and analyzed the same video when they acquitted Sean.
Unfortunately, the result that we saw from that jury simply doesn't match what we see in this video.
But Lee Merritt, the attorney for Price's family, who is now
Exactly,
suing
Brother
Wolf City
Hawkeye.
and
On
Lucas
top of the
civilly,
GoFundMe,
disagrees,
they
saying Price
raised
was only
hundreds of
extending his
thousands
hand.
to $1
This
million.
video was also used by Texas Rangers to file the murder charge used to fire Lucas. Merritt says they got it right. The jury got it wrong. That jury also didn't have a single resident of Wolf City on it, Merritt says, or anyone who was black.
Race played a factor in the jury's decision to acquit Sean Lucas. Hunt County is a lot more diverse than what was reflected in the all-white jury.
We're standing. If you
Merritt now asking the Department of Justice to review the case to determine if any federal charges should be brought against Lucas. Also to review how the case played out in court. That includes jury selection.
If they seen a display of camaraderie and love throughout our communities, we showing it to one another, they wouldn't do this because they know they'll have hell on their hands. But, we'd rather do other shit. We too competitive towards each other. We compete in everything. We even compete when it comes to advocating for our people. None of us do shit, but we want to be the one who seem like we're doing more when none of us is doing the goddamn thing.
We're asking them to look at the case from gavel to gavel and see whether or not there was discrimination present in this process and getting justice for the Price family.
In Hunt County, I'm Matt Howerton.
Outright madness, brothers and sisters. I'm going to leave this right here. I want to thank all the brothers and sisters for coming through, hanging out with your brother Nasir this evening. I just wanted to keep our people updated on what's going on with our young brothers and show the opposition to the truth of this matter. Thank you to my brother on Hawkeye. Thanks for tapping in. My brother JJ, the Enlightening One. Thanks to my brother Voodoo Child. Thank you for tapping in, good brother. Thanks to the sister, Sharon Walker. Thanks for tapping in. My brother Kill Switch. Thank you for tapping in, good brother. Chris Cyphers, the Smokers Lounge. Thanks for tapping in. Peace. Thank you for tapping in. The Realist McCoy. Thank you to my Jersey homie, Warfare K. My brother Relentless. My sister, the true daughter of darkness. My brother, Mr. West. My brother Keem Norfolk. And my brother Big Dog Philly OG. I thank you all for joining me. Until next time, this is your brother Nasir. This is the Enemy's Public. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.
Okay.